All right, you guys, I'm excited for this week. Oh, I just hit my microphone. If you if you have been following me, a lot of my guests that I'm bringing on, I've already interviewed them, but they're just seriously that good that I need to bring them back for Delancey to meet in person because they have touched my life one way or another. That they're in it like me and Delancey are to spread good and love and not hate and icky shit. I'll be real, like seriously. So all these people that you're going to meet, I'm like, I love them because we all honor those people that are hurting, but we want to do our best to be like, life is good and you have to make the best of it. So anyway, with that long little ramble, we have Samantha on, and she is a birth mama, and I just love her to death. She's amazing. You've seen her do a couple things with me. She's just the best. She's got the best heart. She's got the best story. And I just mad love her. And I love doing this because I have friends in so many different freaking states that I'm going to go and meet all these people and stay at their houses, and they're all going to love me.
Yes. Yes, please. Yes, please.
So without any further of my nonsense, I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to Sam. We'll just have her share her story, and you guys know how we roll. We'll jump in, ask questions, all those good things. So Sam, I will turn the time over to you, my friend.
Hey y'all, so I am Samantha Rosetta. I am a birth mom. I've been a birth mom for 19 years now. I got pregnant at the age of 15, one of the scariest times of my life because I knew nothing about pregnancy at all. So during that time, I ended up, I was still in school, but I was told I didn't have an option. I was told I could not keep my child. So instead of putting him into the system and him having to go through, Child Protective Services or DCF here in Florida, we call it, my mentors from church stepped in. I had two families want to step in. One happened to have been out of state when I gave birth because everybody thought it was an April Fool's joke, but it wasn't. I literally gave birth to my child on April Fool's Day. And my mentor stepped in. They literally saved my life. They saved my son's life. I have no regrets. I do have my moments where I wonder what if, but I know I made the best choice for my child because he turned out to be the most amazing young man that you will ever come in contact with. He's literally my twin. So you see this beautiful face? He's the handsome version of me, where he ended up graduating high school. Had I raised him, I'm not going to say he wouldn't have graduated, but I know life would have been completely different for both of us because I was 15. Right. Literally, like I didn't know nothing about raising a child. I wasn't raised by my parents, so I didn't have that support. Like I didn't have any of that. My aunt, my guardian, she didn't have any kids of her own, so she literally didn't know what it felt like to be pregnant. She never talked about pregnancy with me. She never talked about sex education with me. So imagine being 15 and pregnant, and your body's changing, and you have no idea what's going on. I am blessed also because I finished school. Like I didn't become a statistic. I did not, stop going to school. I still went to school big and pregnant. I still went to class. Even when I gave birth, I still was doing my schoolwork. His godmother used to go to the school and pick it up for me. So I literally was still doing classwork. I passed. I didn't get to do any of the high school activities because I literally went to my son's godfather. I call them his godparents. I went to his school because he was at our rival school, but I was right there with my son while he was out on the field coaching. And literally, 19 years later, I'm still connected to this family. They live here in my city. So they're literally like around the corner. I still am considered a part of his life. He knows me. He knows his siblings. He knows, my 14-year-old and him are like besties. Like, you'll think they grew up in the same house, but never did. But it's a lot. I'm not even gonna sit here and pretend like it's all good because I do have my days where I miss him. I have my days where I've kept myself away from him because I didn't want to intrude on his life, even though I was welcome. I just didn't want to go over there and cause ruckus. That's how I felt. I literally have been told a good thing I stayed out of his life because I'm effed up. Um, yeah,
Wait,
I mean,
wait.
whoa.
You said that to yourself or somebody said that to
no,
you?
someone said it to me.
I'm
Someone,
sorry, somebody on social media or somebody that you know
No.
face to face?
someone I know face to face, someone who is supposed to be an important part of my life. Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Can I ask why? Like, do you have any reason why they would say these things to you?
Like, was
Um,
it out of anger? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the only thing I can. But
but they know that is a soft spot for me. Like this is my son's a part of my life. My firstborn is a part of my life. I don't share with people.
Yeah.
People that know me know the situation to an extent, but this person is someone that literally is like, I see them all the time. So for them to say something like that to me, it really hurt.
Oh my
And they've
gosh.
never met my son. Like they never. I won't bring him around.
Oh, I wouldn't
So-
either. No, I don't blame you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just still have questions about this because like this just blows me away. I understand they're important to you. Like, was it like were they going through something themselves? I feel like they had to have been dealing with something themselves, and they were just lashing out in a really, really awful, mean, terrible way.
Yeah, they were trying to hurt me because they feel like I hurt them, but I never hurt with words. Like I never say anything to you that's gonna my actions maybe, but I never would say anything that would jab you. So in the midst of me not lashing back out, like I was like this with them, cool, and that made them more mad, if that's just whatever, however you want to say it. But
Because how dare someone be nice to you? How dare?
Oh
how
my
dare they?
no.
so they were like, good thing you stay out of his life because you're effed up. And I'm just like, whoa, that's how you really feel, huh? Wow.
Now,
Okay.
was that, I was going to say, was this like recent? Was this like a few years ago? Because I'm just
No, this
thinking of
was
the
recent.
Recent?
Like 2022 recent, yes.
Oh my hell. So this
Oh.
year.
Yeah,
I'm
this-
sorry, but everybody is effed up in their own special way. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
Like, everybody
Even
has their
them.
own issues. Yes. Yes.
and let me just throw this out there too. If whoever you are, if you're listening to this, being nasty to her does not make you a better person. It means you
Thank
suck.
you.
I'm sorry, you suck. Oh,
Mic drop, Delancey. I love her. She's always coming in clutch, man.
For real, that's how I felt.
suck.
That's exactly how I felt, to be like, okay, you always wanted to meet my son, but for you to say that, you think I'm going to introduce you to him?
Right.
Let's be
No.
honest. Like, I'm not
Yeah,
going to want my
no.
child around you, and you fix your mouth to say something like that. And you're a parent yourself. So it's like, yeah, they
And
have
they're
to-
a parent.
They are.
I'm telling you, it's a good thing I found Jesus. Rated E for everybody. Like that's so nasty. That is so. I just don't understand. I'm just gonna pray for whoever that is because I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
It's like, I didn't
That's
show
so
it, but it was like, it hit me hard because I'm like, dang. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, of
like
course.
you know, that's my soft spot. Like outside of it being my child, like any child, I'll feel that way. But it's like, bro, you said, like my kid, when I'm already battling, like, do I go see him? Like, you know, now that he's older and he has his own life and his own schedule, it's like, it's hard. And you come to me and look me in my face and say something like that. Like, yeah.
Can I ask you to expand on, because I remember this from last time when I first interviewed, expand on like sexual education, because I know that's something huge that you have done for young girls, and I think that's something that needs to be talked about, like huge, because like I think it was you, right, that you told me when I interviewed you last time, like that you had no education on it. You
I
knew
had nothing.
nothing. Yeah.
Nothing. And I literally just posted a reel about this yesterday, but it is, sexual education is important. For example, I am a mother of boys, but they are going to reach a point when they're sexually active. So I had to come to terms with, when do you have that conversation? Had I had that conversation at the age of like 14, I wouldn't have been pregnant at 15. because I would have been
Yeah.
terrified of the consequences of like I
Right.
would have been out here like, no, clink, clink, no, don't touch me, don't look at me, don't do nothing. So it is so important to have those conversations with my son. He's 14. He'll be 15 next month. So
Hey.
it's important. He knows I had his brother at 15. He knows that.
Yeah.
Because his girlfriend follows me on Instagram. So she's probably gonna do like little clips. But it's like I have the conversation with him now because he's
Good.
dating.
Mhm. Yeah.
And you know, they do their little TikToks together. And I know he kisses her, and I'm just like, leave it at kissing. Don't go any further than kissing.
No,
You're
that's
lucky you're
good.
kissing. Like you shouldn't even be kissing. Because you get herpes in your mouth too. So you shouldn't even be kissing. Like, and those are the conversations we gotta have with our boys and our girls. Because
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that you're saying boys too. Because I feel like when you're the mom, at least for me, it's more like, oh, my daughter easier, kind of, but no, I still think you should definitely have those conversations
Yeah.
with your boys.
100%.
My boys are going to be terrified when I have that conversation with them because I don't care. I'm an open book. It'll probably get more graphic than they like. And they'll be like, ew. And I'll be like, exactly. I want that reaction. So you don't get freaking somebody
yes.
knocked up.
Now
I really want to be a fly on the wall for that, by the way.
Okay. I'll
like pass me the
FaceTime
mashed
you.
potatoes. Like,
I want you to
don't do-
FaceTime me for that.
But
Like,
it's important. It's so important because, you know, I never had the conversation either about like Mother Nature, menstrual cycles. I never had that
Yeah.
conversation.
Nobody ever
like-
had that with you?
No, like I was
Oh my
out
gosh.
here. When I say I was out here winging it, like I was just out here.
So
But
so
like-
there wasn't like a mom, sister, aunt, teacher,
No,
nothing.
nothing. And in my house, it was
Wow.
me. My aunt raised me, and it was me, my little sister, and my little cousin, all girls. Never. I was at school when he came on, and I'm just like, what does this mean? Like, what is this?
Right.
Still to this day, we never had the conversation. To this day. And I am a whole adult out here in these streets and never,
Like she
Never-
won't talk to you about like what a period is?
no, like nothing.
Oh my
See,
Atlanta.
That's the scary thing. That's the scary thing is that there are women out there who are afraid to women and men who are afraid to talk to their children about these things. And it's one of those things of if you don't have that conversation with them, somebody's going to have that conversation with them.
I want to know why though.
Somebody.
Like, why does it scare people? I mean, maybe it's
I've
because
never understood that.
my mom did any question I had. You guys, any question I had, I asked her. There's one in specific. I won't get TMI here on the podcast, but I asked her when I was like 7th grade, and she told me what it was. It happens with boys. And after she told me, I was like, that is disgusting. And she's like, you wanted to know. This is just how their bodies work. I'm like, oh, like, but she told me. And so for me, that's how I'm gonna be with my kids. Like they ask me, if not, I'll probably beat them to the punch and be like, just so you know, this is, and they'll be like, ew, mom, well, you need to know.
You
Like,
gotta
they just need to know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's important because you don't, like you say, you don't want them out here and then something happens. And now either there was a group of kids that are going to make fun of them because they don't know,
Mhm.
or they're going to pressure them on the topic. So it's
Yes.
like stuff like that is so important to discuss. Like you have
100%.
to.
Yeah.
Like you just have to. And that's why I'm like I am now as a parent. Like I'm literally being the parent I wish I had. Like, come and talk to me. Come and show me like what
There
you
you
need
go.
to know. What you need to know. Oh, you got hair on
There
your
you go.
face? So once the hair on my son's face started, I knew then we got to talk about puberty, dude. Because obviously-
Doesn't just happen there.
exactly. And I tell
Like I
him,
said, I'll keep it clean. I'm trying to keep it clean, but still hitting the butt.
I was going to
No.
say, let's remember, I do have nieces and nephews that listen to this. I mean, I'm sure they know, but still.
yeah, so it's like we got to
Maybe
have
that's
those
something-
conversations
Yeah.
and be open about it. Open door policy. You know how when you have a job, they're like, "Oh, we have an open door policy." We need open door policy in our homes.
I love
So
I
our
agree
kids
with that.
aren't sneaking and doing stuff, or they aren't, being afraid. Because my 14-year-old used to be afraid to talk to me. Like literally, we literally became close over the last two years, maybe.
That's
Like
crazy.
my son would not talk to me. He wouldn't hang around me. Like he would stay in his room. It was just like now
How
we're
come? Is it because of like changes going on with him that he just
I think it
wasn't?
was more
That's
so
what I was wondering.
I think it was me and me finding myself and not
Okay.
knowing. Like I used to be a very angry person. The woman you guys see sitting here, I have not always been her. Like I
Oh.
literally have like I used to
Same.
be like
Friend,
yeah, so
you are in good company.
You are in very good company right now. You heard my comment earlier, E.
Of lots of people who have done lots of work on themselves. We totally
Absolutely.
understand.
So
100%.
yeah, that's what happened. Then it used to be just even though I have my 19-year-old, I would get him at times, but with my 14-year-old, you know, I raised him. So technically to him, he was like the only child for a while. Then I had my third son. Then I got with my now husband and he brought kids with him. So then my son just started being like, wait, how am I supposed to navigate with all these extra people? And
Right.
my son doesn't like people. So it was just like,
Hey, just a lot. Yeah, just a lot. Yeah.
and then
Yeah, it's a
one
lot.
day when I was pregnant with my now 2-year-old, he would not even look at his brother. You seen that? Like this kid over here rearranging stuff. He wouldn't look at him. He wouldn't hold him. He wouldn't acknowledge him. He wouldn't do nothing when it came to that baby.
Ugh.
But now, me and my 14-year-old are like this. We're supposed to start our own podcast. Him and the 2-year-old are like this. So it's just like, that's how I know about the girlfriend. It's gonna hit a year. And I'm just like, okay, we have all these conversations now. And it makes me feel good. Even when it came to his older brother, he asked, like, why did you place him for adoption? Why did you keep me and not him? And I was open with him. I was like, listen, you know, your great aunt, she told me I couldn't keep my baby. Like I told her just like that. She said I couldn't keep my baby.
Right.
And he was just like, oh. And I'm like, yeah, you know, you just have those family members where you love from a distance. And she's literally one of those people because she didn't understand. Like, you didn't
Right.
carry a baby. You don't have any
Right.
kids.
Right.
Right.
So it's like, it's almost like I have resentment. I'm gonna be honest. I literally have
No, I get that. I get that.
resentment. I
I
really do.
mean, yeah, because it sounds like how could you not? It sounds like you weren't even given like a second to make up your own mind. Like you
I
were
did.
never given a second. You were told
No.
this is what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, just like that. Like
That's
you're not keeping that baby. That baby. Not your baby, but that baby. Like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
That baby is
okay. I'm going to be respectful of your family member with that. And I'm just going to drink my water.
I do have a question though. Like, I know you say you love her from a distance. Do you have any contact with her at all now?
Guess what? I'm like literally the only family member that gives her any time of day.
So what does she think about you? Like, I mean, because you've been involved in your son's life, right? Like the whole time. What does she think of that? Has she expressed that to you?
No, because I don't even give her a chance to. That's a
Good.
part that is off limits. She'll
love
ask like,
that.
how's he doing? And I'm like, he's good, and change the subject. And then she gets in
Okay.
her feelings. And I'm like, why are you asking? Had you let me raise him, you would have seen him all the time.
Exactly.
He would have lived in the house with us.
Right.
And then I
Right.
found out they ended up, because when he was born, I stayed with them for a little bit. And then as he got older, like between 1 and 3, he would come over to my house. Like they'll let him come over, we'll hang out. But then after a while, it stopped. I never knew why it got to a point where he could not come over to my home anymore, but it was okay for me to come to their home. I didn't find out until 2021, like last year or the end of 2020, that it was because something my aunt said and the way she said it that made them feel like it was
Of course.
unsafe for him to be
They
around
couldn't
her.
trust you. Oh my god.
Of course. Of course. She sounds like a peach.
Listen, if my 7-year-old wasn't sitting here, I would tell you how peachy.
That's why I remembered you have like younger, like a little one around you. So I was like, I'm just going to leave it as she's a peach.
Yes.
But also I mean,
It's a lot, man. It's
So since you're the only one in the family that still gives her any time of day, I mean, which is impressive. And I feel like that's a God thing completely. Like that's
It is.
God moving in you 100%. What does the rest of your family say? Like, do they ever talk to you about the fact that you stay in contact with her, or do they feel any kind of way about that? Because I know my family would be like, "Are you crazy?"
What's
Like,
funny is I literally was just telling my close friend, like my neighbor, this yesterday. They're all the same. And I literally, like the person I am, I feel like it came from my dad's side.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I am so hell bent on learning who my dad is. Like, I don't know nothing about him, but like how big yeah, girl, listen,
hold on.
Yes.
Elena, you don't prepare me for anything.
I know.
You
That's
gotta
exactly
stop
why I
that.
don't. You guys, y'all, you got to watch the YouTube channel because you cannot see
Listen.
Delancey's faces. You're going to hear it, but you're not going to see it unless you watch YouTube. Okay. Anyway, we'll let Delancey go into this.
Okay, so question. Just a question. So these are all family members on your mother's side.
Yeah.
You don't know your
Nothing.
biological dad or anyone on that side.
Nothing, no one.
Your mom has never said a word. Your grandmother's never said a word. No one's ever like slipped up and said something.
Like I've been given like 2 to 3 different names. And it's just like, if you don't know, just say that, because it is 3 boys, potentially 3 girls. So we're going to say 6. I was told I have another sister. So it's like 6 of us. Each of us have different dads. But my other 5 siblings, my 3 brothers and my sister, my 4 siblings, they know their dads. Each one of them know who their dads were. Me, the first girl, because there's 3 boys before me, then me and a little sister. I know nothing. Nothing at all.
Okay, I respectfully
Nothing.
to your mom, respectfully. Do each of you have different dads? Am I understanding that correctly?
You're understanding
Okay.
correctly.
Okay,
Yes,
just
girl.
want to make sure I'm
Yes.
following the.
And it
train of
saddens
thought.
me because I always tell them, you guys must have found me, because there's no way I'm related to y'all.
Just picked
It
you
can't
up.
be possible. It cannot be possible.
So, okay,
Cannot be.
because you never shared this with me before. So your parents, are they passed away? Are they just not like,
So,
you just like, how come you don't know
Yeah,
your
like this-
parents? Can I ask that? I mean, if not, if
So
you don't
I
want to
know
answer,
my
that's
mom.
fine. But okay.
so I know my mom. I know of her. I know her. I've seen her. I've had conversations with her. She lives like an hour and a half from me, but it's like, I don't know her. Like, I know her, but I don't know her. She's closer to the other siblings. That's
Gotcha.
another reason why I say I cannot be related to y'all. It's just not possible. Then my dad, what she's told me is he was married. This man, mysterious man, he was married when they were messing around and she got pregnant with me. And he died when I was 3. So me being me, I went and Googled this name she gave me because I'm just an investigator type of person. Like, I needed to know. I found no obituary. I found nothing. So I did do an ancestry DNA test, and I connected with someone that lives 45 minutes from me, an older relative that knows nothing about my mom. So I was like under the impression he's on my dad's side, and he's like my second cousin. You know, I think we had a conversation about cousins, like first, second, third. So he's like at the top. He's at the top of the tree. And I'm like, he has to be on my dad's side because we're so similar.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of things about him that I'm like, you got to be related to me on my dad's side. But I tell everyone, I'm like, my mom's people, those people are weird. Like, they're just, they're like, I cannot be, I really feel like I was found. Like, I just feel like they gave them the wrong baby at the hospital, and they just took me home and gave me to my grandma. She dropped me off to my grandma.
Wow.
So it's like,
I'm so floored by this. Like, I feel like I've been broken. Like, I am so floored.
like, your face is like, girl.
Yeah. Delancey makes the
that's-
best faces, that's for sure.
Listen, it's deep, man. I always tell people I'm like an onion. Like it's definitely many layers to
So,
Samantha Rosetta.
so you did an ancestry DNA. Which one did you do? Is there I know there are multiple ones, aren't there? Like several.
Yeah.
23 and Me and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, so I did the one that's literally like the ancestry DNA. I think they were like
Okay.
the first one that came out. So I did that one in 2018, the end of 2018. So I connected with this relative since then, but a part of me is fearful to go meet him because it's almost like I want the answers, but then it's like, what if he
Get
gives
that.
me answers that I don't?
Yeah. There's wanting the answers, and then there's dealing with the reality of the answers.
Yes.
And until you're
'Cause my
ready to deal with
mom-
that reality, yeah,
Yep.
I get that. I get that.
Because my mom, I asked her, and I was just like, so she was like, oh, I can reach out to some people in the city that we were in. Never heard nothing else about it. Nothing. I'm like, if you don't know, just say that.
Right.
I can reach out to some people. Like, does anyone understand how that sounds? Like,
Yes,
I'll-
it sounds crazy.
I'll call some people. if they. I'm not even going to finish that thought. That was bad.
Yes.
I'm not going to finish that.
And I'm like, I've been asking you this since the age of, I was in high school when I started asking her. Because she was in prison. She was in and out of prison. But she got out I graduated in 2006. So she got out around that time. And she's like super close to my little sister. She got married when she got out. I wasn't personally invited to the wedding. I was like supposed to be my sister's plus one. Like, no, why can't I have my own invitation? I'm your first daughter. Supposedly, I'm your first daughter. Supposedly. I'm gonna say supposedly. Because I'm sticking to my story. I don't know these people. And people will say I'm mean for that. And I'm just like, I'm truthful. I'm honest.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Delancey's faces.
I know, like her face is just like, girl.
I'm sorry.
what
I'm sorry. I'm just.
She
I'm
makes
just like,
no, she seriously makes like storytelling that much better because then it's like, whoa. Like I love
wait a
it.
minute, I got another question. Yeah, that's how it is.
It's like,
yeah.
It's like more questions.
And that's why I had that feeling of staying away from my son until I figured out my own life. Because it's like, I don't want to these people. These people, I don't want to bring you over here to this.
I love that
craziness when the family over here that you're
right.
with, 2-parent household, great people. I babysat their children who are now college graduates and a realtor, and I think she's going to be like a lawyer or something. But it's like he's good. So that's the life I want him to know. Yes, I do want him to know parts of over here, but y'all crazy. Like, y'all, like I don't. I
A little bit.
Yeah, like my friend said, she bust out laughing because I told her, because she was like, Sam, your heart's so big. And I was like, yeah, I think I got that from my dad's side, the guy I don't know. And she thought I was joking, but I was literally serious. And she was like,
you're like, no.
Serious? I'm like,
yeah, like really?
Yeah.
Like, because nobody on my mom's side have a heart like me. Like, so
right.
I don't.
I think
this is just wild. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say this is my favorite thing about the people that I have met. I may have like met them where they're in per se a better headspace or whatnot, but like Sam's always working on herself, and she's never closing the door on that she has a bad day ever. She's never closing the door on like it's hard. Like if you follow her on social media, she's super open and honest. Like, hey, I've been MIA because I've had to pull away in order to like protect my peace and to be there for myself. And like, but this is what I love about us having people like this come on, because it's like how she said she's done a lot of work to not be like the past, whatever it was before, because I only know the Sam I know now. But like, if you are willing to work, if you are willing to let God in, if you are willing to not hold all these feelings in, like, poor me, oh my gosh, my life is so shitty and hard and everybody spite me and oh my gosh, like you can see clearly she still has people in her life that are still making hard. I
Yes.
mean, granted, we all do, but
I was gonna
we've
say,
all
people
come
that
to a
suck.
spot. Yeah, like you have to come to a place where you can
Mhm.
sit and be miserable and be pissed off at the world, or you
Yeah.
can be like Sam and honor those hard days and still
You
do
got a
everything
journal.
to your damnedest. Yes, yes. And she does. She
Absolutely.
has a journal to
You
like
gotta
sit
pull out
there.
a journal.
Yeah, get through things. Like
Yeah.
that's what
Well,
I
and
love about
it's-
her.
Well, and
Because-
it's recognizing it, recognizing your
Yes.
your
Yes.
thing, your thing
Yes.
that you need to do to get it out. Like journaling works for Sam, and sometimes it works for me, sometimes it doesn't. And then, some people will go lift weights, or they'll go running, or
Yep.
they'll go listen to
Yep.
music, or they'll do
I do all the
something.
I do all of
Sam's
it.
like all of that. Yes.
I felt so
check,
quick,
check,
like-
check.
I think I don't know if MK have ever heard me say, but I'm like Kevin Gates. Like people give him such a bad rap, but I'm like, shoot, you listen to the words of his songs sometimes. Like some of his songs, I'm like, I will rock Kevin Gates when I'm having a bad day, and I'm gonna turn it up full blast, and I don't care what my neighbors say because we finna be rap stars today.
Wait, oh, is he a rapper?
I was about to say,
don't know who that is.
who is Kevin Gates?
And I
'Cause
love
am
me
like,
some rap
I am,
music, man.
I'm not cool at
No,
all.
I'm gonna
I'm
Google it.
one of the dorkiest people on the planet.
He is. He's an American rapper.
Like he's like real graphic. Like honestly, later you might like
Girl.
him. He's like,
Oh,
I was say,
no, I
Melena, that
would-
might be more your style.
My 4-year-old, almost 4-year-old, loves the song "Tricky" by Run DMC and loves it. And I didn't realize how bad it was until we turned it on the other day. I'm like, dude,
Until your 4-year-old
boy.
started singing it. You never. Here's the
See?
funny thing: you don't realize how
See?
bad lyrics are until toddlers start singing them.
It's so true.
Unless you're like my second sister, I'm not going to call her out by name because there are people that we go to church with that listen to our podcast. However, you know who I'm talking about. Had me listen to Billy Idol, Poison, could quote and sing, perform Rocky Horror Picture Show, Grease 2. I was like 3-4 years ago. I finally heard the lyrics and I was going,
oh my god,
you had me singing that? What is wrong with you? And she thinks it's hysterical.
That's
I'm
what I
like,
do
Sam,
now.
Hilarious.
That
I
kind of
listen to
music,
the lyrics.
man. Oh, it's like the best. Like something about putting, and I do that all the time. Like I get it. You pop in those headphones and you just listen to it, like, or I blast it on my Alexa, and I'm just like, and they're
Mhm.
like, Mom, and I'm like, I don't care. Mom needs a minute to listen to some dirty
Yep.
ass music.
It's something about dancing it out. Something about
Oh.
dancing it out
It
that
helps.
just it's I really feel like it's something that like our age range
Yeah.
understands more than anybody. It's just dancing it out. Not like this whole entire like let's do these little TikTok dances that work. Like let's do
TikTok
this.
dance to save my life. I always remix them. I have been
Thank
growing
you.
my TikTok, but I remix my TikToks. Like I ain't got time to be
And this
Like-
this whole entire
the little hip thing now where you
Okay, when we all get together, we're gonna do one. We'll be like these 30-year-olds, like, woo! And all the
these 30-year-olds
TikTokers
that
will
are
be
doing
like,
that'll make fun of TikTok dances. Then we do okay, now this is how you actually dance.
Yes. Like we do a dance party every night in my house.
I love it.
We do a dance party to
Love that.
I love it.
unwind and relax for the day because my kids think I'm doing it because I want to be doing it. I'm doing it because I need to bring down my levels. Like for example, this past week, my husband was home and I hate to say it, my anxiety goes up when he comes home. Like it literally goes through the roof. And I feel like, gosh, when are you going back on the road? Like, when are you leaving?
Okay.
Like just
Girl, I feel
the
you on that
reason-
with the
I'm about to say,
traveling
the only reason I
husband.
laugh at that is because
Yeah.
I know plenty of traveling husbands that feel that way, and
Oh.
it's
It's
the
hard.
same thing every time.
it's like I seen a TikTok earlier where the lady was like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. My husband works all the time, and when he comes home, I don't know how to communicate with him. I said that is real. Like I don't know how to
Mhm.
communicate with him. We spend so much time texting. How do we have a conversation with our words?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
how? It's hard. Like
Yeah.
I talk to my
It's-
14-year-old more now. Like that's my best friend. Like because we're in the house together all the
I
time.
get it. Yeah.
He's like, you got a call tonight? I'm like, yeah. He was like, what time? I was like, 9 o'clock. 8:50. He's in my room. It's almost time for you to get ready. Okay, Daddy.
Oh.
Thanks, Dad. I got
Daddy.
my healing secretary, my walking secretary.
So
Thanks.
funny.
Goodness, thank you. But
I get it though.
that's-
Traveling husbands are hard. I get it. I totally get
Mhm.
it.
It's
It's not
very
an
hard.
easy thing. Yeah.
and he be gone
Definitely
like
easy.
a month at a time, and it's just like, okay, whoop whoop. But then when it's time to go pick him up, I'm like, hey, hi, new guy in town. What's your
Hi,
name?
new guy.
New guy in town.
Like, where are you today? Like, I don't know. Like,
That's kind of like almost like a hey.
yeah, like, nothing stops me,
It's like you're starting all over again. It's like it's a brand new relationship all over again. That could be fantastic, or it could be
Hard.
awkward.
Yeah. Yeah.
very
Yeah.
awkward. And the kids don't
Yeah.
know, well, my 14-year-old, he knows, he picks up on it. But the
Yeah.
7-year-old and the 2-year-old, they're like, oh, he's home. I get to party because there's no rules when he's home.
Oh. No. No.
Absolutely not. That
No.
absolutely not.
That's why the anxiety is so high. That's
Yeah.
No,
why
I get it.
I went to the grocery store. The other day I was going to the grocery store. For some reason, everyone was in the car. I'm like, this was a solo trip.
Right.
Where all y'all going?
It's like, where do you think you're going? Oh, the grocery store. No.
Like, this is a me trip. Me,
Right.
like me, only me. You go in the house with the kids because you don't like, and it's funny because it's like the transition of being on the road alone to
Mhm.
coming home and be like, okay, I'm going out alone now. You stay here with these kids so you can see what the life is like
Mhm.
what I do 24/7. Like tonight after this, I got to pop an energy drink and reset the house because now you're back on the road and I have to bring everything back together
Yeah.
while everyone's sleeping.
Yeah.
Because if not, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Stuff is out of
That-
place.
yeah.
Like it's just like, God, leave. What are we doing? What are we doing? And he hasn't met my son, my 19
Oh, he
year old.
has. Oh, he
He
has.
hasn't.
No.
Does he not want to?
Oh,
Or
he
do you
wants
know?
to.
Is it you that's holding up? Okay.
Yep.
I could-
And it's been 4 years.
That was gonna be my next question. How y'all been married for 4 years?
We've been together 4. We've been married this
Okay,
year 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like,
It-
no.
Is it? Do you mind if I ask?
You can
What?
ask.
Yeah. What is it about him meeting your son that makes it, I guess, nervous or
Yeah.
apprehensive? Or I'm not sure what word to use in the scenario, but you don't want it to happen.
So we're finna go full circle. Ready?
Okay.
Remember what I first said? What the person said to me?
Mhm.
Oh, I get it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Wish I was there to hug you. I'm not even kidding you.
And it's funny because
Oh.
I had posted something to an effect of it on Instagram and you caught it, okay? You caught it and you had messaged me and you were like, who said that? And I didn't tell you at the time who said it. I was like, someone close to me.
I remember you said that. Yeah.
And you brought me back down and you're like, girl, don't, if I was there, you know what I'll do, but you are not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh. It breaks my heart for you.
It's crazy, right? It
Mhm.
is.
Well, and I don't want to get into it too much because I don't want to like overstep bounds or anything like that. But I feel like when
Right.
it's something like that, it's like
It's crazy.
I get why sometimes people might not. So we'll kind of switch the subject of like not sharing that they placed a child for adoption or something with somebody that they're with because of things that could transpire. But it just breaks my heart because it shouldn't be that way. Like it just shouldn't. It shouldn't be to where
Or you should
how to say it, like the person that you're doing life with should be there to support you and to do everything 100%.
Right.
It shouldn't be like this to where
Yes.
what you like
For
it-
me,
it-
it shouldn't be a light switch. where today you
Mm-mm.
understand why I did it and you encourage me and you're like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. And then when you're mad, you're like,
They
X,
weaponize
Y,
it.
Z. Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
just like,
no.
You shouldn't.
Yeah.
When it comes to somebody that you're doing life with, or somebody that's even close to you that you open up to,
Right.
and they want you to open and be vulnerable with them, that takes a lot for people. That takes a lot for
lot.
anybody who's been through, especially some kind of trauma. It takes so much
Yeah.
to be vulnerable and to open up and to share your
everything.
deepest part of yourself, with them, and to have that person turn around and weaponize it against you.
Because for me, I don't know
I
how many
just-
people will relate, but sometimes I feel like that's almost, it's a trigger. It's gonna always be a trigger.
Yeah.
It's something
yeah.
that I'm dealing with for life, and it's something that literally is like PTSD in a sense. And it's just like,
Right.
dude, like, and people is just like,
Well, there are just certain things you don't. There are just certain things you do not weaponize against somebody, and that's
Yeah.
And that's
any
one of-
information that someone gives to you in a vulnerable state. You do not take that information that was given to you. That you should protect that.
yeah,
Right.
You're supposed to protect that information and be. Oh, I can't.
because the
And
world,
it's like-
the world is gonna beat me up. Like,
Yeah,
I have-
exactly.
I have come across
Exactly.
some amazing, supportive people, but I've also come across people where it's just like, you shouldn't be praised for that. First of all, nobody's asking for me to be praised, but I'm gonna praise myself because I could have kept him
Oh,
and
yeah.
ruined his life in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well, those
personally
people
could
suck
have-
too.
And
I could have turned to drugs. I could have turned to alcohol, and by the grace of God, I don't like neither one of them.
yeah.
So it's like, yes, I'm gonna
But-
praise myself, and I'm gonna toot my own horn, and I'm gonna be the best birth mother walking around on God's green earth.
You need to
As
give
you-
yourself
as
some
you
grace,
should.
because you would not have ruined your child's life for the way that you are. Like, you would not have. Like, I don't. I
Well,
mean,
thank
granted, we
you.
don't know what could have been, but still, like,
I'm scared of being in trouble. So you're right. You know what? I take it back because I would have done great because one, I am scared to open a piece of candy in the store
yeah.
and not pay for it. So
in this moment, I realize we're the same person. Because I am terrified of getting in trouble. I have panic attacks about, like, anytime somebody's like, "Hey, call me, we need to talk." Oh God, about what?
yes.
I hate that. I hate when
what?
people
No,
say
I
that.
can't
I
call
hate
you.
Are you
that.
mad at me? Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
Got the
I
nervous
mean,
sweats.
that nervous
Yep.
sweats. Of, oh God.
And I think the only person this year I can say I don't feel like that, like, is when MK hit me up and she's like, "Sam, can I ask you a question?" I'd be looking forward to her question. Like, I look forward to your question.
Right.
I'd be like, "What question you got for me today, girl?" Like, I go to our chat, like, she ain't hit me up. Did she
That's
forget
my-
about me?
That is my favorite thing about Sam, though, and you guys need to follow her for that reason, is because I have picked her brain. And Sam, I'll tell you this, and my husband just giggled at me when I was like, okay, I have always wanted a black friend. Okay, I am in like Whiteville, Utah, freaking Utah,
Okay,
and
she
I'm like
really is.
only
She
brown
really
person.
is.
And so when I met you and we clicked so well, I told my husband, I'm like, I have a black friend. I have yet to meet her in person, but I have a black friend, and she's so awesome. And he's like, because he went to Louisiana for a couple of years, and he's like he
They're
just,
dope. We're dope.
yeah,
Yeah.
my husband has a mad
Yeah.
love for Louisiana, people in Louisiana, like huge mad love for him. Like, he loves black people. And I know that's really weird to say. Yes, he is white, but like, he just does. He loves black people. And so when I told him that, he's just like, okay, babe, good, like, cool. 'Cause I'm like,
It was probably your husband's probably like, okay,
Good for
It's
you.
like-
good for you, honey.
because I kind of started,
And
I'm like,
that's
did you ever
me.
want a black friend growing up? And he's like, what? I'm like, did you ever want one? Because I always wanted one. I'm like, no, I
She's
understand.
like, I'm literally picturing your husband going,
He did.
Like, is this a setup? Like,
is
a setup?
this like, what direction is this conversation going? Because I need to know what my answer should be. 'Cause-
Yes.
I tell everybody I have a black friend, and I'm just so honored by it. I'm like, she's the coolest. She lives in Florida.
And that is me. Like, I am your soul. Like, I tell people I have a Colombian soul sister. Like,
Hell
There
yeah.
you go.
I've
Oh,
never
yeah.
met a Colombian in my life. Never. So we're equal. Like,
I love it. I love it.
We have a lot of white people. So a lot
That's
of
how
my
I
friends
am.
growing up, like I have redneck friends, and people be like, "How the hell are you friends with rednecks?" I don't know.
Dude, because we throw down. Rednecks are awesome. We're
I
awesome.
spent the night at like one's house. Like we were in elementary school, and he had a sister, and like I used to spend the night over on the little farm, and I never thought anything was going to happen to me. Like,
Yeah.
why should I? Because these were
Why-
like my sister and brother.
I was about to say
Exactly.
well,
Yeah.
it's kind of like it's rednecks. We and my parents would die if they heard me say we rednecks because they're like you are not raised that way, and I'm like, listen, redneck at heart. Let's be real here. Let's be real. Redneck
Let's
at
be
heart.
honest.
Let's be honest about it. Like, we get a bad rap from the people in the north
Yep.
because they don't really understand us. But you know, if you're cool, you're cool.
Exactly.
Flat out. If you're cool, you're cool. We like you.
And my husband always says, like, wherever I go, he's always like, you know, everybody. No, everyone knows me. I don't know everybody. Everybody just knows me because I'm not really a people person, which is maybe hard to believe. Yes, I know, right? But
Sure, because you like work very well in this whole dynamic. I mean, and you're a very charismatic person. So how can you not be a people person?
I don't know. Like, I'm like, what is it? Ambivert? Like, sometimes I'm just like, oh, my social media, my social battery has died. And my
girl, I
kids
feel
are
that.
the same way.
I
Like
feel
my
that social
boy-
battery thing.
My 14-year-old, like he has a close friend that's a white boy, and they're like besties. Like I'm like, you better keep him on your side, boy. Like his parents are cool. They play football together. They play football together now. Look, there were some cool people. Like the family's cool. I know how to decipher your friends. I'm gonna pick your friends for you. And he's a good one. He's like Tom Brady Jr. Like he has a little hair like him and everything. So I'm like,
Brady Jr.
and then my 7-year-old, he doesn't even see color. One day he was telling me about a friend in school, and I was like, what color is he? Like, I know it probably was like the craziest question to ask a 7-year-old. He was like, brown? I don't know. And I was like, well, I know your classmate. So which classmate is it? He was like, he's brown, but not brown like me, but like brown. I was like, oh, he's tan. And he's like, mommy, I don't know. He's just my friend. So I went to the school for something. And he was like, him. I was like, oh. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, it's a little white boy. But I'm just like, baby, stay like that. Like, you know, you don't.
Love
His
that. No.
principal is white as day, but that's his sister. He calls his principal his sister. And he will tell me,
but it's because
my
of the
sister.
example that you are, Sam.
Mhm.
That's why. And from what you
That's
told
exactly
me,
why.
you're friends with everybody. You don't give a
I
shit what
am.
they look like. Like really. And so your
Well,
kids
because it's
are
the
learning
soul,
that.
it's the person.
Yeah,
it's
I
who
love
they
that.
are as people. I think
I had
that's what a lot of
someone-
people have forgotten.
Yeah.
I had someone tell me, it was funny, like we're having a conversation, and I was like, gosh, you're so aggressive. Like you're speaking to me so aggressively. And he was like, what? Don't you ever say anything like that to me again. You're sounding like white people and you're supposed to be like pro-black or some junk, he said. And I'm like,
Some
dude,
junk.
I'm like, what are you talking? And this was right before the event with Dakota them. And I'm like, Dakota them.
Oh.
I was like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm black, duh. But respect is respect. I don't care if you're purple,
Mhm.
green, orange. I don't care.
Yeah.
But if you're being aggressive, and you can be Chinese. If you're being aggressive, I'm gonna tell you.
Mhm. I agree with
Love
that.
you.
Like,
I
don't
love you.
care what color you is right now.
Right.
And that has nothing to do with my black card.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
you gonna take my black card because I said you're an aggressive black man? You
Yeah,
are being
right.
aggressive.
Yeah.
Right.
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 I agree with that.
So I'm just like, I literally love everybody.
Yes.
But if you cross the line of disrespect, I don't have to love you. And that goes for anybody. And
That's like,
walking
well, it's like the angry people on social media that like
Thank
I've
you.
messaged you about before, Sam. I've messaged Delancey all the time about them, but like
Mhm.
in the adoption community, these angry people, it's like you're fine to have your voice, but when you start attacking people because they
Yeah.
believe differently than you, and
It's
dude,
the
it's the
attacks
way
for
of the
me.
freaking world
Yeah,
right now,
it's the
just with
attack.
everything.
Yeah.
Everything in the world, ever
Yeah.
since COVID started, it's like everybody can't have
Well,
their
and
own
it's-
freaking opinion. Like
It's so
just
it's so
annoying.
disappointing
It's
too
a
because
cult.
it is so aggressive and but
Yeah.
it's not I've noticed it here recently. Like people that I've known for a very, very long time have started to show their true aggressive colors
Yeah.
here recently, and I'm
that's
just
sad.
going.
Yeah,
And,
it is sad.
but and it's almost like they forget that just because you use aggressive language, profanity, and you are very aggressive and you attack others, that doesn't make your voice stronger.
Right.
That makes
exactly.
you look weak.
Yeah.
And all it
Are you
does
gonna say
is
that?
make you
Are you
look
gonna say it in
ignorant.
person? If you
Make-
see me in person, are
Ooh.
you gonna say it?
Ooh.
'Cause we
Yeah,
got
exactly.
gangsters.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Because most of
Like-
these people would never.
Would
And
never.
if they
Never.
would, and if they would, they've never been hit before. And it
Right.
shows.
Right.
That's the problem. They got to come across the right person. Like for me, like I have the biggest heart. I'm the sweetest person. But if
You really are.
people said half the
Yeah.
stuff they say online to my face,
E.
it's like I'm gonna go from this high to a mean Black person, probably. But it's just
Be
like
Black person.
To a Black
because I know people attack me for. I'm just like I know people are listening to this. Like, who is she? Don't worry
Whatever.
about
Whatever.
it. Because I'm comfortable in who I am. I know what I stand
Right.
for. I don't
Right.
join the different little groups that's going on. A lot of times I won't even comment or post about certain things for that reason. Because now we're gonna have a whole debate online. Half of y'all I don't know in real life. So what I'm gonna debate with you online for when I could be over here working on this book that I'm writing or cooking
Exactly.
this dinner for these kids.
Yeah.
Where you could be working on making a real difference and not doing comment section debates with keyboard warriors.
Right.
I don't
Because
have time for
nobody's
that
going to
personally.
remember, they're going to remember you for something negative. I don't want to be remembered for the negative, but I will be remembered
Amen.
for standing up for what's right and standing up. Like I say,
Mhm.
your voice matters too, but
Right.
use it in a way that's respectable.
I
Because we
agree.
can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Like we literally can do that.
100%.
I've connected with adoptive parents. I've connected with adoptees. I've connected with birth moms. We all share each other's stuff. I had one come to me and be like, I love your content, but I can't share this particular thing because it doesn't align with my page. I didn't get mad at her. She found something else on my page to
Right.
share.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah.
And she
Exactly.
thought I was going to take offense to it. And I'm like, girl, you still cool in my eyes. Don't share if you got kids on your page because don't come back looking at me because it's my fault that. So it's just like people need to realize that I'm a lot on TikTok now. So I see the hashtag birth mother strong, but a lot of negative people are using the hashtag
Mhm.
in their hashtag, but it's like you're not supportive of it.
Mm-mm.
You're
They're just using it to
like-
get. They're using it
Exactly,
to get views. They're using it to get views.
And I'm like,
And that drives me nuts. Use the appropriate
disgusting.
hashtag. Everyone out there that's listening and use TikTok, use the appropriate hashtags.
yes.
Don't be a
Seriously.
jackwagon. Don't just try to get
Jackwagon.
views. Like
I'll say it. Don't be a
Seriously,
jackass.
no.
Delancey won't swear, but I swear. Don't be a jackass.
Delancey doesn't do that on
Jackwagon.
Jackwagon.
But that is
Oh.
true. That is so true, man. It's real. Use the right
Mhm.
stuff. Stop being nasty towards people, regardless of what walks of life you come from.
Right.
Because we all have a story. We all are battling with something. Like, be
Yes.
kind to
Amen.
people Because
Mhm.
you don't know, like a smile can save someone's life.
Exactly.
That right
Exactly.
there.
Kind
Yes.
word.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
it
And on
can
social
save
media, it's like you were saying, it's as simple as you see maybe like how I reached out to you. You see a friend maybe hurting. All you have to do is say, hey, what's up? You okay? Like, what's going on? Like, that's all you have to do. It takes 2 seconds for you to reach out and do that with somebody, or 2 seconds to smile at somebody when you walk
Mhm.
past.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
And that's building connection.
Yes.
That's like me, like on one Sunday, I was gonna message her and I'm like, oh no, Sunday's her days offline. So I'm gonna hit her up on Monday. And then one Sunday she messaged me and I was like, what are you doing online? And it only came from us building the connection and being
Yeah.
kind to each other. Because I could have easily ignored her message when it went to my request box.
Yep.
But I gave her a chance because I've seen how she came off. Like she came off as a kind person. I have connected with people who came off kind and turned out to be different. And I just removed myself without making a scene about it. If you
Yeah.
really care about my friendship or knowing me, you will notice that I removed myself. If you don't notice, that's
That's
your business. Like no hard feelings, but we just don't align.
Correct.
We don't. I can't rock with you because we don't
right.
like. We don't have to necessarily stand for the same stuff, and that's why I said we can agree to disagree.
Right.
But I'm still going to respect you
Right.
and
Right.
expect the same thing in return. I don't
Right.
know what it's like to be an adoptee, so how can I come online and bash adoptees
Right.
and I know nothing about it? That'll almost be
Right.
like me bashing my son and not caring about his
That.
feelings or what he feels, because he does feel stuff.
Mhm.
He did question when he was growing up why he's darker than his siblings.
Right.
So I can't come on here being like, adoptees suck.
But I like with
my son sucks.
with you don't do that with birth moms. I don't feel like you do that
No.
with birth moms either. And that's, I
Mm-mm.
know you're part of the community that you're in. You don't go on and I guarantee you there's probably birth moms, just like how me and Delancey are. There's different views that adoptees have than us. The same way it goes with you, but it's like you said, you just give them their
I
space,
still have-
let them figure it out. And
I was about to
then-
say, give them space to process
Yeah.
it however
Yep.
they need a process.
and then just say a pray for them. Dear Lord up above in heaven, freaking grant that person some happiness. And that's pretty much all you can do. You know what I mean? Like that's exactly how I pray. Okay, guys.
But you do better than me, because that's another story for another day.
Sometimes swear words come out when I pray. More like pray that asshole will leave me alone.
It's just a conversation. We have a conversation with them, right? Like that's what it is.
I was
Sometimes
gonna
I
say,
don't know what
I
to
mean, yeah.
But I've come across birth brothers like that, and I'm just like, gosh, who peed in your Cheerios?
That's when you just want to look at them and go,
It's true.
do you need help processing? Because I
Yeah.
can give you some exercises to process this, like some suggestions, some
exercises.
books to read,
Just
some
don't
breathing
follow them.
exercises,
'Cause
meditation, something
affirmations.
like maybe my preacher,
somebody,
something.
Maybe my preacher.
I was sending my journal on the house. Like, hey, I will send you a T-shirt, a hoodie, something, because it's a lot. And I tell people this is for a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
You don't start being a birth mom when they hit 18.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how that works. They don't
That's
start
true.
being an adoptee when they hit 18. My 19-year-old can literally go somewhere and they're like, Sam's your mom, isn't she? He can't run from that. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
it's life.
It's just, yeah, it's part of your story.
Yeah.
It's part of your story. And that's decent, positive, and socially beneficial. Is that said right? Probably not. To the community, like to the world, is taking every single part of your story, good, bad, ugly, fantastic, wonderful, sparkle, dull, whatever, and going,
Yep.
you know what? This is me.
Yeah.
I'm here. This is all of me. I feel like there are just so many people in the world that need to process all of that and need to figure out that if it wasn't for the good, the bad, and the ugly, you would not be who you are today. Like,
Yeah, it's true.
let's
And
just be
as you guys
thankful.
see, I still experience the good, the bad, and the ugly, but my good is outweighing all that other stuff because I have learned to treat people with kindness, and I will smile in your face and it will make you even more upset. But guess who's not going to lose sleep at night? Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm reading a book now called Forgiving What We Can't Forget, I think it's called.
I think somebody just recommended that to me. I
Girl,
think
so
that's what
far,
it is.
sorry.
I have on
Why has no one recommended this to me? Because this sounds like something I need to read.
there. I think it's on Audible. Let me look.
Yeah, I
Forgiving
just
What You
started-
Can't
I found it
Forget
at
by
Target.
Lisa TechHurst.
Yeah, her.
Somebody
Her.
just mentioned it to me.
With the paint, she got a paintbrush or something.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Here,
that
Delancey, I'll pull it up. Oh, it's gonna start on my Audible. I won't let it start, but it's gonna pull it
Yep,
up so
I
you can
just
see the
found it at
picture.
Target.
That's what it looks like, Delancey.
Yep, that's the book.
Forgiving What You Can't Forget. Okay, I obviously need to start a list of
I
books.
want to listen to that. Yeah, that's on my next. I got to finish my other book, but I love that.
Yeah, when
Okay.
you started, we could talk about it.
Heck yeah. But no. Okay. I know this has kind of been all over the place, but you guys are used to that, but we can always tie everything back in. Like
I was
Sam
going to
is
say, how is
amazing.
this any different than a normal episode for us? What do you mean?
Sam-
Oh, this is all over the place. Par for the course, Melena. Par for the course. Okay, continue.
Okay, you guys you're just used to it. Those that follow us. No, but I love Sam, and I love that she is on the same wavelength as us, that like everybody's human. Everybody has a
Mhm.
right to feel the way that they feel. Don't be an
Mhm.
asshole and attack people. Do
Amen.
the best you can to work on yourself and make your life better
Mhm.
for you. Because if you do that, you guys, this is like proof of finding people. I was talking to my niece today. She was asking me about my podcast, and my sister-in-law was asking me how I met Delancey. I'm like, I simply found her on social media, reached out to her. Now
And
we have
boom.
like our hour and a half chats every single Tuesday, and she's becoming like one of my closest friends. I'm like, I'm not even kidding you. I text her about freaking Yellowstone, people. Like,
I'm so thankful for it because I love it. I love
yeah,
it.
but that's
Here
what I'm
for
saying
it.
is it's like when you find people that you vibe with, and same with Sam, like, I'm not gonna lie, have I noticed she's been off of social media a lot lately? I have. There's been
I've
a
been on
lot of crap
TikTok,
going
girl.
on. There's been a lot of crap going on in my life too that we've been trying to figure out, and it's nothing like in my family, but just like surrounding stuff going on that like we've been trying to get figured out too, especially with my husband been gone for 3 weeks and now he's back, and now we're just trying. Yeah, there's just it's a whole shit storm like going on, not with me and
Transition.
him, but just with
I mean,
Everything.
dang, y'all
okay?
make me look normal at this point. I thought my world was rocked, but y'all make me look like I'm
Well,
on the
that's what I'm
normal side. Thank you
All
for being my
transition.
friends. Thank you. I've never had anybody make me look normal before, so thank you too. Appreciate you.
But no, but
so
like,
much.
and Sam, like me and her call each other soul sister because seriously, we vibe so
Mhm.
much. We just barely discovered we're both turning 35 this year. Our birthdays are how many days apart again?
Like 5, because you're the 11th and I'm the 16th.
Yeah, our birthdays are 5 days apart. And I'm just like, I'm like,
How
she's the
crazy
black
is that?
friend that God knew I needed, and our birthdays are so close.
So both of you are younger than me.
That's so crazy. When she texted and told me that, I was like, girl, stop playing. Your birthday is literally like right there knocking at my door.
Yeah, so I'm like 5 days
Look.
older than her. Yeah, Delancey, it's fine. You're not that old. You are
Whatever.
not that old.
Whatever.
Stop.
I don't want to talk about it.
Are you an 84 baby?
I am.
Yeah, that's my
But I
husband,
look
too.
good.
But
You
I
do
just
look
like,
good.
You don't look that, girl, sit down somewhere. She's talking like she was like 55 or something.
I know, right?
I tell you what, if I was 55 and I still looked like this at 55, I would be proud of that.
As you should be.
Singing that from the rooftops.
That was so funny. Well, here we in 20 plus years, girl, I'm coming after you, and we're gonna see where we're at there.
That is so
Seriously.
cool.
We're still gonna be friends then. Don't think we won't
better,
be, 'cause we
I
will.
better say. Well, I better marry a plastic surgeon then.
Whatever. Oh,
55
Sam, are you
seconds
there?
till
Oh,
the
you were
55.
staring. You were staring off. Oh, she's not
Yeah,
frozen.
my
Okay.
14-year-old decided that he wanted to talk about his football homie. Yeah.
I love it. No, I love it. But a couple things about Sam. If you guys go follow her, like she's mentioned, she is working on a book. She does have an amazing journal. She is a lot like me, where we're both so passionate about self-love because of what it's done to change our lives. It doesn't mean that we're to a point where we're already so madly in love with ourselves. It's a work in progress every single day. It will be until the day I die. When
It's
I'm
a
90 and
journey.
still lifting weights, and I'm gonna be like this badass grandma. That's my mission. I'm not even kidding you. I'm gonna be able to squat all my great grandchildren. That's my goal. But like seriously though, like she is like me, to where you really want, Delancey's the same way. You want to take care of yourself and do the best that's for you.
Yeah.
Like you really do. We've all hit a point in our lives that we're just kind of
Yeah.
like, we need to take care of ourselves. And that's why we do what we do. And we share our stories because we want people to see, hello, we've all had really hard pasts. We may not choose to blast them to the roofs like these negative people on Instagram, but we choose to see the happiness instead of the shame
Amen.
when it comes to it.
I was about to
No.
say, we embrace it. We embrace it and move on from it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's like I was talking to somebody today, and he said, all you can do is just lead a positive life through God and show everybody the example. And he's like, you have to lead it just by example. You can't tell people what to do. You have to show them. And I
Yep.
was like,
Amen.
I love it. I love
yes, sir.
I love it. I love it.
That's how it is, though. That's so true. It's
Yeah.
a journey.
It is.
Mhm.
And
Journey
Sam,
is gonna
okay.
be on cover.
I like to ask this to our guests because we have a lot of adoptive parents that follow us and listen to our podcast too. What is
Mhm.
advice that you would give with being a birth mom? Granted, I know a lot of adoptions nowadays are more open, but what would you like if, I don't know, an adoptive parent came to you and it was like, what's the best advice you could give me for my adoptee with you being a birth mama?
Listen to them. Be open and understanding and respect them. If they
Love
ask
that.
questions, answer them. Don't brush anything under the rug. Don't hide it until they're old enough, because
Mhm.
children are old enough as early as 2 years old.
Yes.
Um,
Yes,
I'm
I'll agree
living
with that.
I'm living it now with my 2-year-old. And just like open communication, open
Yeah.
door policy. That's gonna be my new thing. Open door policy.
I love that.
Make sure
I like that
that
too.
you are making them comfortable to come and talk to you, because if they don't get the answers from you, they're gonna start digging.
Mhm.
They're gonna start talking to people. They're gonna start reaching out. The internet is endless with answers, and they're gonna find what they're looking for. So it's best that it comes from them, from you as the adoptive parent, than the internet, because
Yeah.
they'll trust you more.
Right. Exactly.
So open door policy. Have
I
an
love
open
that.
door policy with the adoptee as well as the birth mom. If you are having an open adoption, don't close them out. 'Cause if you close them out, it'll cause more. I want to
Love
say
that.
it'll cause more pain for everyone involved,
Mhm.
including the adoptive parents. So
I love that.
open door policy.
I love that. And I feel like that's what
I
a
love
lot of
that too.
people that we have brought on is communication. Communicate, people. Communicate. Like communicate.
It's important.
But communicate.
It's very important. It's important in all aspects of life. Just do it.
Amen.
Just do it. Just
Yeah.
communicate.
Just do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just communicate.
Even if it's
Because
hard and icky, like a sex talk, just freaking do it. Like
just do it. Because it's gonna
'cause
happen.
you do not want them Googling that shit. Oh man, can you imagine the
No.
crap
Oh
that
my
comes up on the
gosh.
internet? Oh,
Well,
No.
not just that, but you don't want their friend's older brother, older sister explaining it to them either.
exactly.
That's just no, absolutely not.
The-
Absolutely
people.
not.
That
Yeah,
will
or the
take
wrong
advantage.
people.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a very valid point. People that could take advantage. Exactly. I love that
exactly
because it's so true.
exactly.
Because
So
it's like with you, 100% like with you. You had no clue about it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
So key. Okay. Anything else that you have to share?
no, you guys can find me over on Instagram at I am Samantha Rosetta. You can find me on YouTube at I am Samantha Rosetta. You can even find me on TikTok at I am Samantha Rosetta.
I'm
Because,
sensing a theme here.
because I stopped using my maiden and my married last name, because I used to not like my middle name, because Rosetta is really my middle name. Like that's my
Oh,
real life. Yeah, that's my real
Oh.
life birth given name.
Oh,
I love that. I
Just
do
like
love
Rosetta
that.
It's real.
I love that.
So
I love that.
that's a part of my journey. I started embracing it. So that's where I am, all social media sites. And I will have a book that is releasing this year, The Girl in the Mirror.
I love it. I love it. I'm super excited and pumped for you. That's going to be awesome. So,
I'm having
Okay.
a party in your town. So be on the
heck yeah. Let me know, dude. Anyway, all right. As always, thanks for being here, guys. Samantha, thank you so much for coming on. Sam, soul
Thank you
sister,
for
whatever.
having me.
No, we so appreciate it. And you're seriously
no, this was
the best.
everything.
We got to do a
Literally
part
the
two.
best.
I got more to
Yes.
tell.
Oh, don't
Always
worry.
down. Always
When
down. For
when this
follow-up.
closes out, we can talk more. Sorry, podcast listeners, I'm gonna cut you off now so we can chat. Okay, bye.
Yay.